What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about the final season and final episode of Attack on Titan, alongside with pretty much the entire anime as a whole. So let's talk about it. Now, this is a little bit different than my typical review. If you guys are not aware, Attack on Titan is a anime. It is a very popular anime. It is now, after seeing this final season, my favorite anime of all time. And if you're not really big into anime, this is definitely one where I think is kind of like a gateway drug into anime, because it's so intense and so grabbing that for someone that is a non-anime watcher can definitely easily get into anime because of something like this, like Attack on Titan. Pretty much the premises of Attack on Titan, the show's been going on for about 11 years now. It first aired back in 2012. And of course, since it is an anime, it is based off of a Japanese manga, which, if you don't know what a manga is, kind of think about a comic book in a way. It's kind of more picture illustrated, and anime is, every single time anime is a form of a book, form of a manga, being animated into a show. So Attack on Titan is a manga that was turned into anime back in 2012, and it finally finished about 10, 11 years later. Tonight was the premiere of the final episode, which is about an hour and a half long. Now, again, I'm gonna go a little bit into spoilers in terms of the general show. In terms of the last episode, I won't talk too much on. I'll give you my positives and negatives, but I won't go into too much of what happens, because of course I want you guys to experience it on your own. But for the majority of the beginning of the show, I'm going to talk a little bit about. And if you don't know, the premise of this show is basically you're kind of put into this world where you believe that these people within these inner walls are the last humans on Earth, and everything outside the walls are Titans, which are these ginormous humans, essentially what they look like, that eat humans. So they're pretty much they're pretty much so the Titans pretty much eat humans that are within the walls, and that's kind of how they survive. While the people inside the walls have been training, and all their military and army and police work have all these gear in way to pretty much defend against these Titans, which is by cutting the nape off of the back of their neck, kind of severing the neck and head, and pretty much killing them. And their technology is really backdated, except for kind of their military stuff. You know, they're still only riding on horseback. They have to farm for their food, since they can't really leave the walls. Besides the military, which is called the Scout Regiment, which are the people that typically go outside the walls and kill Titans to try to protect the walls and the inner walls and all that kind of stuff. And for the majority of the show, you believe that this is pretty much it. This is society, and that's really all there is to it. But then it gets to a point where it throws you with the twist that everybody outside the world knows about the Titans and knows about these people in here, and these people are trapped here by the outside world, and they have no idea, because it's been generations, so they've never seen the outside world. But everybody on the outside, they're a little bit more advanced. They have cars, they have guns, they have airplanes, blimps, and these people are a lot more backdated when it comes to technology. And it gets pretty intense to a point where you find out that every single person that's in these walls are a certain type of people that within their blood, because of their ancestors, they can also become Titans. That's within their blood, within their genes. They are technically Titans that can be transformed into Titans. And that's why the rest of the world has separated them within these walls, to keep the Titans away from everybody else. And that's, for the most part, the premise of the show. The big twist is having those reveals and talking about all these different generations of Titans and the founding Titan and stuff like that. And it gets really complicated. You definitely need to watch the show. That's first priority when it comes to this, is you definitely need to watch the show, because there's a lot of story plots and a lot of twists and turns that take you for a whole loop, and it's pretty much the best thing that's ever been on TV. You know, I won't say it's my favorite show of all time, but for sure it's my favorite anime of all time. Now that you know a little bit more about Attack on Titan, if you have never watched it, speaking on the final episode, this thing was epic. It just released today, and this was just mind-blowing. Everything that was happening, the action, the visuals, the score, just everything. It was one of the biggest anime premieres of all time, and it did not disappoint at all. At least in my opinion, it did not disappoint. I don't really have too many negatives to talk about this. I have mostly positives, and I just love the way it kind of wrapped up. You know, there's some controversy whether or not it wrapped up in a good way and it wrapped up in a bad way. Again, I won't go too into how it wrapped up, but the only thing I will give is that with the conclusion of this season and within the end credit scenes, history repeats itself, and it always will. And the way that they depict society throughout the entire show, not just the last episode, but throughout the entire show, is pretty accurate. And there's so many metaphors, there's so many social commentary within this anime, which is pretty much it's insane. Where you have the world that's basically ending. No one thinks that they're gonna be able to survive the situation. The world is basically ending. There's still people killing people, and they cannot band together to try to stop what's going on. There's still division within people, and it shows you how society is. Again, it shows you how history repeats itself, and there's a lot of social commentary when it comes to that kind of aspect of it, alongside with being this huge, epic anime, just goodness. It's just amazing. With this anime is definitely not really for younger adults, just because there's a lot of gore in it. The action is pretty insane. There's a lot of emotion in this last episode as well. There's this one scene with a baby. I won't get too much into it, but that scene was just heartbreaking. It was intense. It like made my jaw drop, and I kind of got back in my seat. And like those are the moments in shows and movies where you just don't know what's gonna happen next, but you're nervous. You're just holding on to your seat, and you have no idea what's gonna happen next, but you just know it's going to amaze you. And this final episode in this show has amazed me over and over again. And one thing that I like that this show does is that it doesn't care who you like as a character. If you like a character, they're most likely, unfortunately, going to die. And I like that. You know, they're not trying to save all the main characters, and that brings a lot of emotions, and especially to this big finale that kind of happened where the stakes are higher than ever. It's literally they either stop whatever's going on or the world ends. It's that serious. And being able to take characters that you love, main characters that have been there since episode 1, and kill them off is insane. Because when those things happen, it's gut-wrenching. You know, these episodes are gut-wrenching. And sometimes it can even make you feel sick to your stomach, because you just think about, obviously this is a anime, it's an animation, it's not real, but if you sit there and kind of think about what you were actually watching and how intense and insane that would be, it is pretty gut-wrenching to see these people go through it, and seeing your favorite characters go through it and suffer and die, and having family members die. And like I said, the emotional roller coaster on this anime is through the roof, and I can't recommend this enough, right? If you are not a big fan of anime, like I know one of another reviewer on YouTube, Cody Leach, he always says that he's not a big fan of anime. I'm not sure if he's ever given this one a chance, but if he would give this one a chance, I think we can sway his mind. But that's besides the point. If you, like I said, if you're not a big fan of anime, this is definitely the one to watch, and it will introduce you into anime, and it's just amazing. You know, I'm a big nerd. I have a huge scope of what I like, and anime's been there for a very long time in my life, and having a show like this and having the conclusion that it did, that I felt satisfied with it, I felt happy with everything in it, and there's not many complaints I have about this show, like at all. This is pretty much a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, you know. I would give it one of the highest ratings ever when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to story writing, when it comes to visuals, when it comes to the score. The score is amazing throughout the entire show. It's just one big epic, jam-packed into this anime, and for me, it delivered everything that I wanted out of Attack on Titan. But let me know what you guys thought about the final episode of Attack on Titan. Did you guys watch it? Do you like anime? Let me know down in the comment section below. Again, this is Leo's Nerd Talk. If you guys like talking about anything movies, TV shows, or video game related, consider liking and subscribing. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Again, my thoughts are never the right thoughts. Everybody has their own opinion, and I'd love to hear yours. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and see you guys on the next review. Thank you.